Hello, fabulous Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2015. Love focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an important month for you we have in the context of love, and it starts right out of the gate. You start feeling it right out of the gate. We have got very early in the first few days of the month, right around the 4th, give or take a day, depending on where you are on the planet, we have got a full moon taking place. And this full moon is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with love, with romance, with the aliveness that love can grant, with the feelings that love can bring. And this particular full moon is especially potent. So there's lots of strong emotions arising at this time, intense feelings arising at this time, and an awareness of change and what change needs to happen as well. And now, what we also have happening that I talked about in the general focused horoscope is Mars moving into your sign. So around the middle of the month, Mars will move into your sign, and this is an awakening on a level of body, really is what it comes down to, which speaks to every area of life, yes, but in the context of love, it speaks to physical attraction, wanting physical connection, really, wanting to be inspired, wanting to be awakened, wanting to feel butterflies. All of this becomes highlighted when Mars moves into your sign. And while, as I spoke about again in the general focused horoscope, there may be initially, this starts off with a bit of pessimism. This is ultimately about you acknowledging what in your life frustrates you. And when you get in touch with that power, you then are able to get in touch with the direction in which you desire to go, and you take ownership for the actions that are going to get you there. And so don't give in to any kind of pessimism. It isn't going to help. But it can help if you use it to catapult you in a more positive direction. But I do think that it is this full moon at the beginning of the month that really is going to speak volumes for you more than anything because of its position in the sky. So those of you who are in an established bond, I do think that this suggests a moment that invites you to change, and to change very deeply at that. To look at what your expectations are in love, where they're reasonable, where they are not. There's also an element here, a financial element here playing out, and this is true regardless of your relationship status, where you may meet somebody and feel you have a genuine connection, and then they hit you up for money. I gotta say that looks like a scenario that might play out. Okay, so you just want to be a little bit mindful of that. Make sure that you're feeling open, but never feeling that you are giving to the point of being taken advantage of or being drained. Or there's an importance here to practice self-care and self-value in the context of love, regardless of your current situation. Of course, if you're in an established bond, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Where do you find that fine line? Well, I think you'll know. I certainly think that you will know. You know if your partner is doing their best and doing what they can, and where their expectations are reasonable and where they are not. And you may need to have a conversation, a moment of clarity around that, which ultimately can help you move in a direction of greater honesty and a greater awareness of where both of you can be making changes to move towards a stronger love and a stronger sense of shared connection as a result as well. Those of you who are dating somebody, I mean, this is happening in a part of the sky that also really speaks to dating. And so to me, this is really a make or break moment. I got to be honest with you. This is really a time when you are saying to yourself, am I walking with this person more or am I not? What is it, the attraction here? And there's either a strong pull or there isn't. There's either the desire to work on this and to be changed for the better, or there's a desire to walk away. It's going to be very all or nothing now. And this is in the context of you getting to know somebody, certainly. But if you're single, this also represents to me, if you're open to love, I mean, this is meeting somebody. It may or may not last long, because I'm not seeing a lot of strong, like sort of long-term energy, and especially given that we are going to have you, once Mars enters your sign, taking a hard look at yourself and where you are, and looking at where it is that you don't have power before you're restored to a sense of inspiration. It may end up being that you have a really great connection with somebody and a great moment with somebody, and then that's it, or they disappear for a little while. And so just be mindful of that can happen, okay? Be at peace with whatever you decide to do or don't do, and go forward from there. But it does look like you are very likely to at least flirt with somebody who ends up having a really transformative effect. So there's lots of this very transformative, very profound, very intense energy that seems to reach right into you and shake something loose. So it's almost as if you may have been holding onto walls or holding onto a belief about yourself, and all of a sudden you realize it, thanks to an attraction, a flirtation that shows up for you now. But ultimately, this is about awakening you. And this may be the catalyst you need to help awaken you on a level of body, on a level of spirit, so that you can then embrace the direction in which ultimately you desire to go. So this is about facilitating a moment of transformation for you, and ultimately a moment of self-honesty that leads to the alchemical process. Really, honesty and observation is, in my humble opinion, an alchemical process, because it changes whatever it is that's being observed. And so it is part of turning what in your life feels like lead into gold. And so there is certainly that opportunity on offer for you now. One thing is for sure, though, the universe wants you to look at how you feel. Do you feel like you're in love or not? Does it feel like love is changing you for the better, or is draining you and asking you for too much? This is a time when you're going to get honest with yourself about it. Where it is that it's changing you for the better, even when it's hard, you're going to be honest with yourself and solidify your commitment to the process that you're engaged in. And where it is that it isn't, you're going to be honest with yourself about that as well and make a very potent change. Regardless of what you choose and regardless of the change, it certainly does seem to move you towards understanding what love is going to mean for you now, and claiming a sense of love, not only a sense of self-love, yes, but a sense of love, of what love could be, moving you in that direction.